All right, Beau Wirick.
Brock
Today we're
Ciarlelli.
watching TV or not TV. What I need to know, what are three TV shows you're watching right now?
Okay, so I'm no longer in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I'm allowed to watch what I want and
Uh-huh.
not what's cool to
Right.
watch. And so I only watch, God, this is actually really embarrassing, and I did not know this question was coming my
Uh-huh.
way. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I only watch like sitcoms from the 90s, like watching Friends right now for probably the
Okay.
second time this year.
What episode are we on? What season are we in?
I'm in season 3 right now. And then we just finished The Golden Bachelorette.
Okay. Are we happy with who won?
Yeah, it's fine. It wasn't, Joan was the contestant. She was the
Okay.
Bachelorette, and she was a very nice woman, but just not very dramatic. And like, The
Sure.
Bachelor needs to be dramatic in order to be interesting.
Of course.
And so, not the greatest season, but you stick with it because
Because another good
I've
season is right around the corner.
right, exactly. I've gotten addicted, and Daniela and I really like watching it together. And then there's another show from like I think it's from 2015 called Life in Pieces. Did you ever watch this show?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I love it, and
Oh, it's
we're
great.
rewatching it just because we're like cycling through old shows. And so that's the thing with us. Like we love just watching shows that are old, and
Yeah.
so that's sad to say I'm not watching any like cool new stuff. Um,
But it makes you happy, and it feels like comfort
Yeah.
food.
Yes, there's one show that we're really enjoying right now called oh gosh, I have now gotten flooded with embarrassment.
Oh, no.
High Potential is what it's called.
Oh, of course. That's
Yes,
good.
yes.
That's
We
great.
love that
Caitlin Olsen,
show.
very funny, but in
Yes.
a dramatic show.
Yeah, yeah.
Dramatic adjacent.
So those are what
Um,
we're watching.
This is all to say that we are talking and recapping episode 120, TV or not TV, with John Gammon, who played Darren. So we have Sue's first love interest among Axel's friends and her final love interest among Axel's friends on today's episode. So,
Really excited to talk to John. All that and so much more. So Brock, let's get to middling. Welcome to Middling with Eden and Brock. Eden has unfortunately been recast this week, and I'm here to break down an episode of The Middle with Brock Ciarlelli.
you sure have. Last week, Eden and I said, do you ever watch Kelly Ripa and Regis, or like Kelly and Mark, or Kelly and Ryan Seacrest? They always bring in a co-host, and so that's what this feels like. We're bringing
I'm-
you in. You're tapping in.
Yeah,
I
great.
think Eden and I determined that I'm the Kelly Ripa, and so you're Mark and Suelos is out, and you're in.
Got it. I think Michael Shahan was the last one that I knew of
Yeah.
being Kelly's co-host.
Yeah,
So,
he's been gone, and then it was Ryan Seacrest, and then Ryan left.
Oh, jeez, wow.
And then now it's her husband. So
Wow.
she's a mainstay, and everyone else just fills in around her.
I'm really
But
behind. Well,
Beau-
these are small shoes to fill physically, but big shoes to fill proverbially.
And well, thank you for doing this. I'm so glad you're
Yeah.
filling in. You're tapping in just like a true champ. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's good to be here. I'm excited.
Eden's off shooting a movie not in the United States, so her timing is crazy, and she's also working. So Beau, like I said, has been very, very sweet in saying that he's going to tap in as a co-host.
Yeah. Well,
Beau,
especially
what's
when
new?
Eden's being so selfish to go, book work.
Provide
And-
for her family.
Yeah, like
Build these college education funds for her children.
doesn't she know that her fans need her right here, right now?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, as if you're listening to this now, it's Christmas. Beau, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank
What are you
you.
and Daniela doing? We're filming this obviously beforehand, but you said your in-laws, you're going,
Yeah.
or your in-laws are coming here?
My in-laws are flying in. They
Okay.
live in Vancouver. They're flying in, and so we are hosting them for about a week. And then we're going to drive down to my parents' house in Orange County and have like the whole family together, and then they're going to come up here for Christmas Day, and so we're hosting the family. And
Oh,
so
fun.
I do not get Christmas Eve off. I work like a half day Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is the only day I get off. I'm working the entire week.
Don't lie to me on this podcast.
I'm
You
not
have to
lying to you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So-
Do you have meetings and stuff, or do you just have work you
yeah.
have to get done?
Yeah. Meetings and everything. Because it's just end of the year stuff in the financial world. The markets are open. People need to get their tax stuff done. So
is this your busiest time? Did I pull you away from your job that provides, your mortgage fund? Did I pull you away from that work to do this is podcast about the middle?
No, it's a Sunday afternoon. Like, I'm fine. But yeah, so this is a busy time of year, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh,
so,
I'm sure. I do not envy anyone who does the finances around this time of year, because I know the guy who does my taxes.
Yeah.
I send him one email, and I know when it's about 2 weeks out that I get a response, and I go, he is busy.
Yes.
He is so busy.
Yes. It's not fun. It's not fun. But it's good. It's good.
It's good. We always do. I'm going to Denver. I was just there for Thanksgiving, and I'm going back. But
yeah, you were, because you just did the episode with your mom. That was so
my mother.
Fun.
Oh, good.
Priscilla.
Oh, she loves you. You sent a very sweet text when you heard what my mom, her memory of meeting you and stuff. But she just absolutely adores you.
Well, feelings very mutual. I love Priscilla, and she was so funny. Like, she was so funny to listen to.
She was so nervous, and I was like, "Mom, I just need you to be you." And then expertly, she cried and made me laugh in the span of 90 seconds. And I said, "That's the mother I know."
Yes, exactly. You get to know Brock a little bit better when you know Priscilla. You're like, I see where this personality came from.
Yeah, exactly. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
How long are you going home?
I'm only going home for a week, but we have a lot of traditional things. My mom's dad, when she was growing up as a kid, used to always take her out on a Christmas Eve lunch date. And so when he passed away in 2002 or 3, I was just, I don't know, 9 or 10. And I said, I'll take over. And so every year since then, my mom and I always take her out to a little Christmas Eve, either brunch or a lunch date. So we have that on the books. Christmas Day, we always try and go see a movie. We're movie people.
What are you going to see? Do you know yet?
I don't know.
Have you seen Wicked yet?
Twice.
Oh, I have not seen it, so don't spoil it. Although I know the plot.
Wait, do you know the show at all?
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times on Broadway, and so I'm really excited. But we're waiting for my in-laws to come in to watch it with them, and so everybody says it's amazing. And
I saw it the first time with Cameron, and then the second time I told Mom and Dad, I said, when we're home for Thanksgiving, I got us tickets to AMC. We're going. And my mom, on the car ride home, Dad's driving, Mom's in the passenger seat, I'm in the back, and there's this silence, and my mom just goes, so she really is wicked. And my dad and I just we take a 5-minute pause, and we're like, what? And she goes, well, I did fall asleep halfway through, but I was like, well, you missed all the things that prove that she's not wicked.
Wow. So she needs to see it again.
She sure does. And guess she fell asleep also when we saw it years ago when it came through touring in Denver. So she hasn't ever seen the complete story of Wicked.
She has her own isolated plot line of what this is. Yeah.
She actually is the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's funny.
But yeah, so we'll do some sort of movie.
Is Cameron going with you, or is he going to his folks? Like, are you guys spending the holidays? Okay.
We're dividing and conquering, but we decided next Thanksgiving we're gonna do. We've done like vacation over like a weekend, quick little jaunts. I don't know, in Orange County or San Francisco. We haven't done like a big, in the 6 years we've been together, like a big trip. And by that point it'll be 7 years. So we're gonna do. I think we're going to do Europe over Thanksgiving.
Wow.
That's the one time where I know we can book with a fair amount of certainty just from like a work perspective.
Right. Yeah.
If something's shooting for him, he wouldn't be able to take the time off. And we know that the industry will be shut down over Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we can book a nice big trip with a fair amount of certainty that it's not going to have to get canceled or rescheduled or adjusted in any kind of way. So
have you started the negotiations of where you're going to go?
We actually were going to do London and Amsterdam, and then either Copenhagen or Madrid. We're not really sure.
Okay.
We've been asking a ton of friends. We've been asking some like AI travel website things of like, list out the positives and negatives of these different cities and what makes sense financially. And it's incredible what they can, like, the things they can spit out at you and just give you the facts really quickly so you can kind of make your own decision. But that's what we're planning for next Thanksgiving.
We did it last May. We did Greece and then went up to Amsterdam. This was this was in April or May, one of those. And Greece was like, 80 degrees.
Totally.
And then we got to Amsterdam, it's like 40 degrees.
Oh my God.
It was so cool. We were there to see the tulips.
Yeah.
And so when you're like London, Amsterdam, maybe Copenhagen, and then Madrid,
Right.
you're like,
right.
I feel like you might want to get a warmer climate at some point.
That might be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big plan for next holiday.
That's fun. Do you cook for Christmas? Like, I am inept in the kitchen, and so is Daniela. We're both horrible.
I have no desire. I'm usually on dish duty, chopping duty. I don't like if I have a recipe, fine, or if someone tells me like you do this, I'm great. But just this needs a pinch of salt, or this needs a zhuzh of I don't know. Yeah, it's something that I'm not passionate about, so I don't really try to learn. I know how to put chicken in an oven and make 4 of them so that I have chicken breast for the next 4 days.
Yeah, you can meal prep.
Yeah.
Hey, better than I can do. I mean, it's just we realized today that we were hosting Christmas. Like today is like what 10 days away from Christmas.
Yeah.
We realized today that we're hosting. We're like, what are we gonna do for food? Well, we can't do anything. And so I ordered catering from Whole Foods today.
Oh, great. Oh, that's perfect. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I appreciate. Like we went, I think I said this already. We went, you, me, Jen, and Jana.
Yes.
Had a fun evening. It may be like a month ago now at this point, maybe a month and a half ago. But Jana was just like, all I did, I pressed a couple buttons. I ordered food. It's delivered at my doorstep. I'm not cooking. I'm here to enjoy my friends and call it a day. Jana Hunter being one of our writers from the show, and Jen Ray, who played Nancy Donahue, and of course, Beau Wirick.
It was so good seeing them. I hadn't seen
fun.
Jen. I had seen you and Eden. Mm-hmm. I hadn't seen Jen since our wedding. And
wait, really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen her since. I think I could be wrong. And it's like seeing my mom. She was like, "You need to do a better job of keeping up with me, young man." In a totally joking, like she was,
of course.
Yeah, no, she was totally joking, but it was so cute. It was hilarious. And I was like, I know, Mom, I'm sorry. I
love those hangouts because it's fun to, it's fun to talk about the old days. Like we created a whole goddamn podcast about it. Yeah. But it's fun to, I don't know, like especially Jana, because the writers and the actors, for the most part, are so separated. And even with the episodes that Jana did write, her husband also wrote, and Mitch was the one that was on set, not Jana. Right. So I love the most times I ever spend with Jana are in social settings like that. So it's always a blast, and she always has the best stories and always makes me laugh.
She's so funny. And hanging out with her is actually horrible because she's a better actor than all of us.
She's so good. And she has stories to prove it, too.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, when I was in level 4 groundlings and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Just like, what?
It's like, well, okay.
Yeah. Hanging out with someone who doesn't do your job but is better than you at your job. It's like, oh, man, she's so talented.
She's great. We need to do that again, and we got to get Daniela there as well.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Beau, before we move on, we have just a little bit of housekeeping. So this upcoming Sunday for the Ehlert's exclusive members on Patreon, there's no live watch. We figured with everyone's holiday schedules and it being just a crazy time of the year, we figured let's not do a live watch, but you're still getting a bonus episode. Don't you worry. We want to make sure you're getting your money's worth. So it's so fun. I'm very excited. I'm actually recording it tomorrow, but it'll drop on Sunday, December 29th, and it's going to be a pre-recorded, but it's a bonus episode just for the Ehlert's exclusive members. We're doing a recap of episode 305, The Test, with the cheerleaders, Courtney and Debbie, Natalie Lander, and Brittany Ross. I'm so excited to see them. Yeah.
They're so fun. They're so funny.
They're so fun. The two of them together are just always a gas. I love them separately, and of course, I love them together. So we're doing a recap of their first episode, which is The Test. We're recording that tomorrow, but that'll be available for Ehlert's exclusive members just for you on Sunday, December 29th. So keep a lookout. Patreon.com/middlingpod. Now, Beau, let's do some middle minutes.
Okay. Brock, today we're covering episode 120, TV or Not TV. Mm-hmm. With Mike laid off at work, the family is in debt, and they give up cable TV to save money. Though the kids are initially unhappy with the change, they soon find distractions, and it's Frankie and Mike who end up having the most difficulty without the TV. Axel starts a band with Darren and Sean. Sue dreams of being a model and starts a babysitting service to save the money to do so. And Brick and his shy friends are forced into school recess with boisterous, regular kids. Much to his dismay, Frankie wins a bingo jackpot.
This episode was written by, one of my favorites, Vichal Patel.
Yes.
Directed by one of our mainstay director, Lee Shalit Schemmel.
And the guest cast included Beau Wirick as Sean Donahue. He's okay.
The fantastic
He's
Beau
all right.
Wirick. Yeah.
John Gammon, the fantastic John Gammon as Darren. Jeanette Miller as Aunt Edie. Frances Bay as Aunt Jenny. Michael Kostroff as Steve. Will Matthews as Mr. Seyfried. Dirk Torsick as Reverend Haver. Andrew J. Fishman as Zach. Mason Cook as Quarry. Devon Leos as Henry, Parker Contreras as Eric, and Piper Mackenzie Harris as Raina. Big guest cast.
Yes, absolutely. Mason Cook, who plays Corey, the one with the who can't get his socks dirty. He went on to be a series. Do you remember Speechless with Minnie Driver on ABC?
No, because it's no, I don't remember that show. But
Okay.
again, I'm horrible at watching TV. I don't watch TV a lot. This is the first time I watched the middle fully through.
He became I think he was a series regular. I think he played one of her kids, which was also an ABC show.
He's funny in this episode. I really like
great.
it. Yeah.
He's so funny. This aired on Wednesday, April 14th, 2010 at our normal time slot, 8:30, 7:30 Central. If you noticed from last week, we jumped a week because we were off on April 7th. I'm not sure why we were off, but we had a rerun, which was one of our best episodes of season 1, The Scratch, where the social worker comes in, played by Vicki Lewis. Did you listen to that Vicki Lewis interview?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my absolute favorites. Oh, she's great.
She has a lot of energy.
She has so much energy. She's a theater girl.
Yeah.
And we had 6.7 million viewers this week.
All right. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. The top movie of the week was Clash of the Titans.
Never saw it.
And the top song of the week is still Rude Boy by Rihanna, holding strong at the #1 spot. So
I don't think it's leaving anytime soon either.
Yeah.
Awesome. Those are the middle minutes. And when we come back, John Gammon is going to help us break down the episode.
Johnny G. Born in Little Rock, Arkansas, while our guest knows how to play a guy who's a little slow on the uptake, in real life, it couldn't be further from the truth. He's a college graduate with degrees in Latin American studies and Spanish. His earnest, disarming, and kind-hearted portrayal of Darren won the hearts of audiences and, of course, Sue Heck. Please welcome my fellow Bosco founder, John Gammon.
Coming to you live from Ohio, right?
Cleveland, Ohio. That's right.
Cleveland, Ohio. How are you, John? It's been so long, and it's so good to see you. How's everything?
Thank you. It's good to see you guys, too. So everything's been good. I've been doing a lot of different things. One of the main things that I'm working on that's about to come to certain fruition is a so-called self-storage roll-up.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, so it is a merger and acquisition for small guys like myself, where if you know anything about Blockbuster, Wayne Huizenga, he grew Blockbuster from buying small mom-and-pop owned video stores. He bought them, he centralized the back office, he improved technology and business systems, and created Blockbuster from just independently owned video stores.
Wow.
And I think he did that with AutoZone too. I'm not sure. It could have been O'Reilly's. It was one of those. So that's basically what I'm doing right now with self-storage.
So you're telling me you're the next big thing in self-storage is what I'm hearing.
Supposed to be.
He's the John D. Rockefeller.
I thought I was going to be the next
self-storage.
big thing in acting. You never know.
I think we all think that at some point.
I was a residential real estate investor, practically a landlord in Cleveland, Ohio, in LA too. But I have pivoted into self-storage.
That's what I remember. Like you were acting, but you were really an investor, a real estate guy first, and kind of acting second. That's how I recall it when we were working together. Am I recalling that correctly or incorrectly?
I was acting first and then real estate investor second. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's it. It was almost perfect.
Wow.
You scored a 95, Beau.
Yeah. You know, it's like with investments, I feel like the less sexy it sounds, the more profitable it is.
Sure.
So
Yes.
self-storage,
exactly,
we're looking at good profits.
Okay, so John, we always ask this to everyone who comes on the show, whether they're a crew member, someone creative, or an actor. Tell us about how the middle came into your life. Tell us about your audition process, because Eden and I, we've been making our way through these episodes, through this first season, and I forgot. I knew Beau and like the character of Sean had come in relatively early. I forgot that Darren was also introduced relatively early in season 1. Tell us about your process.
I think I went in for some character named Trevor or Travis or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. If it was Trevor, it was the same. It was the same first episode as me. The other football player on Axel's team was named Trevor, so it was like Sean and Trevor. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
When you're standing there at the school passing out the jerseys.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So I did that. It didn't work out, but from having been on the show for all those years, right? Like Beau had told me what that was about. He had let me in on the inside baseball, so to speak, of that role and what happened with that plot line with the role. And so I never felt that bad about it, But what it looked like was the agent I had at the time, she said, this is what it calls for. They're looking for small town people or whatever, people who have a small town vibe and stuff. So I went in for that and everything. And then I actually saw that day, the very day that I went in for the role and everything. And I didn't know what the situation was, right? I saw G. Charles Wright, the guy who actually cast the show, and he saw me in the parking lot, and I was startled because I just did not expect to see him, right? Because LA is gigantic,
right?
And he said, "You didn't get the role." I was like, but she said, but he said, but this is the best part. He said, but this is good because we have other things that are probably better for you, that are bigger and everything like that down the road.
That's casting's favorite line, to be like, we're always thinking about you. Yeah. But I think with G, it actually is true.
Yeah. He's an actual actor's casting director.
Yeah.
And that was a good G. Charles Wright impersonation, by the way, John. This is good.
I didn't even try. That's perfect. I'm glad. I owe him my whole career.
So then was your second audition for the show, was it for Darren then?
It was for Darren, yeah.
Wow. Can I sing your praises a little bit? As we're kind of going through this, sure. Eden and I, as we're looking at these episodes microscopically, and we're we're sharing funny behind the scenes, whatever. But also something that we're doing is we're really analyzing and going really deep. And the thing that impresses me about you, and that I always knew but had forgotten until I had now started to rewatch, was that whenever you play someone who is not the sharpest tool in the shed, you have to give them something to root for. And what you bring an immense amount of earnestness, and you bring a kind-heartedness, and there's to someone who really does that kind of thing well, it feels to me is Matt LeBlanc. You have a Matt LeBlanc quality where they don't think they're dumb, because in their own rights, they are very smart and they know exactly what they're doing and how they exist in this world and how they navigate the world. And I think, it's a freaking sitcom. It's a 22-minute show. But all that being said, there are layers to the things you do, especially as you're introduced into Sue's storylines and we get to see you beyond. It's the same thing that would happen with Beau, too. And I think a lot of the people who they surrounded the Heck family with, you get to see more and more dimensions of them. And you, John, you take it in stride. You do it very, very well because you did your thing. that got you the role, and then as they kept giving you more, you just kept knocking it out of the park.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice. That made my year, Brock.
Oh, good. When you were introduced, I guess starting to be introduced into more of the Sue storylines, or in addition to Axel storylines, as kind of the love interest and eventual almost husband, how did that feel? Walk us through that. Did that come as a shock to you, or did it feel natural, like the most natural progression of things?
No, it was. I wouldn't say it was shocking, but it was surprising.
Yeah,
it was surprising. So it was fun. It was interesting, but I'm also kind of the type of person that knows if I believe that what I did was everything that I needed to do and then some, every single time I got a chance to do it, then if things work out, that shouldn't be a surprise. I was thinking, oh, that's really cool. Let me actually use my acting skills and look at these storylines and see how these two characters would actually get acquainted.
Totally.
Yeah, become enamored of each other, fall in love perhaps, marry, whatever, everything, so I just looked at it as an opportunity, and I know that my job as an actor is to do everything that I can that the writing is going to confine in the script, so do everything that I can within those confinements to really make the most of every single take that we do.
Yeah.
And learn your lines and don't skip, don't mess up any take or anything like that, because then
that's half the battle right there.
Money.
Were you good at memorizing lines?
I thought I was, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
Jen Ray, infamously Beau Wirick's TV mom, and she'll be the first one to admit it, the worst. Okay, so John, I always like to ask this. It feels a little trivial, but I do always like knowing, were there any episodes that stick out to you as a favorite that you liked, whether it was shooting, the final result, a storyline, or what are your favorite moments and takeaways from your narrative as Darren?
Well, I really liked the one where she gave the ring back, and it was really emotionally brutal for my character, certainly for her too. And I just thought, that was a great episode.
Yeah,
and we had so many other great episodes, but I mean, I have to say that was if I were forced to pick the best from my point of view, that would be it.
Yeah, and I did force you, so I'm glad.
Your first episode was Valentine's Day, right?
I think so.
Where it's like the three of us. I remember that episode so much because
flip phone.
Yeah, the flip phone where you're taking the picture. I remember that episode so much because the worst moment in acting for me, which I had to do several times with you, John, was taking off my shirt next to John Gammon.
Okay, that's what we commented on. We said John Gammon's debut was shirtless.
That was like our first episode together, and then they had many episodes after that of us in the pool, shivering, hugging each other.
Yeah,
I was always shirtless with you.
Yeah.
And just John Gammon has this incredible physique, just muscle suit for days, and so it
was a suit. You're right, Beau. That's why I don't have it on right now.
So, John, I remember when you left LA. I think you moved to Oregon, and you were doing stand-up comedy at the time. That's what I remember. And can you what was it like the decision to leave LA, the decision to stop acting, and to take new ground elsewhere? What was that decision like for you?
I mean, it sucked. I wanted to do acting. I just felt like my skill set was best suited for scripted comedy and scripted drama. I was surprised though at how the auditions vanished. They evaporated. I was surprised. I could not understand how it happened, but I've spent more than enough time in trying to figure out how that took place. I would say that with stand-up, my biggest heroes were like from Comic View, like raw comedy. I just thought, okay, that's probably a better suit for me, because I'm just, I love the family comedy and everything like that, but that's just not where I'm at as a man, as a 25, 26, 27-year-old man. I don't think it's 100% who I am right now. Not saying I'm lying by being on a family sitcom. When you go see your parents and you watch your language and you watch what you say and you're always kind to everybody, you open up the door for old people and stuff like that. Not like you wouldn't do that anywhere, but like, you just don't want to be sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm living the lie. But a lot of people have that impression of, oh, I am on a family sitcom, but that's not really who I am. That is what I think a lot of people think a lot of times when they are on my dog just got something I know was in the garbage, out of the garbage, and he's got it in my face. And like, it just goes to show you how smart some dogs are. They like know that he was waiting to do that. Stone.
Did you feel like, as you were auditioning for other things, like, did you feel like your role as Darren, like, pigeonholed you a little bit in that family comedy sector, or were you getting opportunities?
I think so. I was kind of shocked by it. I even my manager, I remember my manager saying like, I don't see you as the romantic interest. And like, this is before the romantic interest narrative took place. And I was like, what are you talking about, Jason? Like,
and a lot of times you have to prove what you're capable of before other people start seeing it as well. Because the first person to know if you're capable of doing something, I think, is you. And you just kind of have to show like, I can do this. And then they're willing to be like, you know what, you can. Let me start pitching you out on those certain kind of things. It's nice because we get to see Axel be Axel with you, but then I think my favorite part is that we get to see a different version of Sue when she's around you. And I think that's ultimately, as the three of us, right, as we know, we're there to boost up the series regulars, and we're able to act as tools and functions to help give them dimension. And then when we get dimension as well, it's really nice. And I think you did that incredibly well, John.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And so as John, we always say, if you're on this podcast, you're here to work. So get out your tools, your tool belt, your sander, whatever you need.
Do I have to take notes and stuff? What?
Just kidding. I do need you to blow the dust off of a little bit of that performance-ness, because you do have a couple paragraphs to read. So I don't know. Do what you got to do. Yeah. Couple vocal warm-ups.
me.
Exactly. So this episode, 120 TV or not TV, John Gammon, aka Darren, what'd you think? Just off the cuff, first thoughts.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was great. It reminded me of this wonderful article that they wrote about the show, The Middle, on The Atlantic. I don't know if you saw that article back in the day, but they compared The Middle with Modern Family.
Yes.
It was great. You guys read that?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought it was so awesome because it was so true. The thing that I took, the first biggest takeaway, and I might have some others, but The Middle was the show that was designed for people who still watch TV and everything, of course. But that's how they actually live.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Modern Family, which gets all the hype and everything like that, and ABC actually had a marketing budget for, not our show, right? Probably why we're, never mind. But but still, it was a very salient point, let's say, and it was so stupendously true. I just loved that article. And I just thought it was really, really great.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about it. Yeah, go ahead, Beau.
You're the only one of the three of us who's an actual Midwesterner. Like, Brock's from Colorado, I'm from California. Like, you know the area the Middle takes place in better than we do. And so, do you feel like, I mean, it sounds like you feel like the show captured that regional zeitgeist pretty well, at least at the time.
Very nice of you to say. I would say yes. And also, I would say that yes to, I think, your question, which is the show capturing the zeitgeist of that time.
Should we break it down? Let's break it
I think
down.
we should break it down.
All right, so scene 1, we start out in the living room of the Heck House, and everyone's watching TV, and Sue shrieks with excitement that for $500, a woman would help her become a model. Just as Frankie says yes to Sue if she can raise the money on her own, the power goes out in the Heck House. Now, I have to tell you this. I was watching this with my boyfriend Cameron, and he said, no one gets scouted in a mall. And I said, I was at the Westfield Mall in Sherman Oaks. This was after I had an agent, but they were like, are you represented? And I said, well, yes, I am. This is before anything, before I even got any sort of part in anything. But those mall scouts really do exist. Now, were they going to try and swindle me for a lot of money? Probably.
It's true though. I got started in acting with what was it called? John Robert Powers, and it was
me
like
too.
Oh, did you really? Are you
Denver?
serious?
In Denver, yes.
Yeah. And it was like for me, it was the late '90s, and it was like, hey, we'll give you acting classes for $1,200 for the year. I was like, yeah, that's a great deal. So that scene definitely resonated with me. Sue's excitement.
Oh my God, Beau. Did you ever go, because they always tried to shove, there's this competition called IMTA. Did they ever try to get that? Okay, so I did that, where you spend
idea.
$5,000, you go to New York or LA, they do it twice a year, and you can do modeling and dancing and acting and this and that, and they supposedly bring all these agents and stuff to come and scout talent.
No one would have wanted to see me model or dance. John, how did you get your start? Did you get your start with one of these I'm not going to call them scams, but one of these pay for play situations? Or
I went about it the most traditional route of all time. Senior year, I'm a double major with a minor, and I have to include some electives to graduate. So I took a acting class, which was the precursor to, in my life, it was the precursor to actually being on the middle, because I didn't think that I would get something like the middle within the amount of time that I did, with no other. I wasn't on a commercial, man, so
sure.
Being there with Patty Heaton and all these other people, Brooke Shields was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cultural icon in a lot of ways and stuff like that. All of these other people, Norm Macdonald,
yeah.
To this day, I brag about being able to talk to Norm Macdonald during lunch and see him fight with Chris Kattan during scenes. It was great.
in the kitchen, Frankie tries to swindle her way into a couple more days worth of power by calling the electric company. Mike suggests they use the free 30-minute financial planning consultation they gave Quarry employees when he got laid off.
Looks between characters. No one actually looks and makes these reactions as prominently, I think, in real life. But what for a visual medium, I noticed in this scene, when she's on the phone about pretending that she actually called the company a week ago when she actually didn't. Those little looks between each other. It's nice because it just kind of builds in that extra kind of detail that you just can't really get from a script, that only has to really come from the actors, which I loved.
Yeah, there's such an understanding of just we're both in this boat together.
Yeah.
There's no blame for Frankie not paying the bill. It was just I get it.
Yeah. And what's nice too,
or
just
playing along with the lie, Beau, because
right.
I think she's on the phone with the operator or the bill collector, and she's
right.
saying some BS, and Mike is sitting there going oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're really on the same team, you got to be on the same team.
Yeah.
The whole way through.
And they really are. I also really like, just from a narrative and a storytelling perspective, because storylines have to be so simple and stripped down for the 22 minutes. But if you're just doing story to get through the beats, you have to have fun pops of comedy. And what I liked about it is the point of that kitchen scene is them, talking about to the bill collector to, escalate the problem. But then you have the reach into the fridge of like, sorry, you don't get to look, you have to reach in your hand and pull out an item, and you get one more draw if you want to try something better than the whipped cream. So that's something that doesn't really go anywhere, but it helps kind of round out that necessary plot that I think the Biddle does extremely well.
I think it's why it's kind of its own like TV cult classic. It wasn't appreciated the way that it, I think, should have been once it was on actual TV. But now it's only like, in my from what I can gather, it's become this bigger gathering of people, this bigger following of people that love the show and stuff. And I think that makes sense.
Totally. John, take us in the next beat.
So
You're
at
up.
the elementary school, yeah, I am. Y'all ready?
I am.
All right. So at the elementary school, Brick and his social skill group learn the library is actually closed during recess, and they're forced to play outside. So they force their way through the chaos to safety under the slide. But they lose a brave soldier. His name is Henry along the way.
This was my favorite part of the entire episode. I loved just the military montage that just goes through. And I think Atticus must have just been having an absolute field day with this. Like, he loves, yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
he's like a military historian in his own right.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah, good.
He knows everything about everything when it comes to history and battles and all the things. So he's definitely in his element. Also, something that's great about this, and we noticed this trick, funny enough, you mentioned Brooke Shields, John, in the Brooke Shields episode, but
wait, which
hood's,
one? I mean,
the
she's
hood's
in there,
up.
yeah.
The first Brooke Shields one, when she's introduced as the neighbor, and they're playing kickball outside of her house, and Atticus has his hood up so they can shoot him from behind as like Frankie's pitching a ball, because as we know, Atticus has a condition where his bones are pretty fragile, and he could get hurt really easily, and so we know that was like a stunt double, his stand-in Casey, who would stand there with the hood up, and I noticed that they did the same trick in this episode where they're forging their way through the chaos, and they're like, hoods up, which is a funny device. You might as well call it out, right?
Yeah,
so then you can have these pops, but hoods up, and then as their kids are kind of bobbing and weaving, we don't see Atticus's face until they strategically are able to cut things in where we do see his face, but so it makes it feel like it's him the whole time when it's not. When you don't see anything of the face, that's actually his stand-in, who was Casey.
Okay, if we can make it to that slide over there, I think we'll be safe. Hoodies up! Follow me!
Now, could you guys tell? I couldn't tell, and we talked to the production designer a couple weeks ago, saying that it.
Who was that again? Can you say her name?
His name's Randy Sir, the production designer. And he was saying, and I remember, I think I only went on location a handful of times while shooting, but the majority of the things were at Warner Brothers Ranch. Could you guys tell? And I couldn't tell, so I was wondering if it was on location, or maybe they just were able to build a facade of that. Do you know where that was shot? Could you tell if that was on the ranch?
No idea.
I have no idea either, which makes it feel like was...
What, that playground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to have been maybe on location, because that the biggest giveaway is, I think, the building. I was like, I don't know the outskirts of that elementary school building at all from Warner Brothers Ranch. They must have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good.
It would make more
think
sense.
You're right.
Yeah, I think it would make more sense to not have to construct an entire playground for that.
Yeah.
And the shots, I mean, there was a lot of steady cam, right? Like the close. I feel like it's perfect to do an outdoor scene like that on location outdoors.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So Frankie and Mike meet with the financial consultant, who tells them they need to cut down their extras. Essentially, they learn they need to spend less than they make and pay off their credit cards. Now, Beau, as a financial, person yourself.
Yes, Beau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would you're in that 30-minute consultation. What are you telling them?
Yeah.
It was
And would it actually
pretty,
take 30 minutes?
Well,
Yeah, would it?
I think they showed him like going back into his back office and looking through all of their like bank statements or something.
Yeah.
Luckily today you can, upload that into software, and it wouldn't take that long. But that conversation was really realistic. That
Really?
is very true to life. Yes, yes. I've had multiple couples who just like start sparring with each other and be like, "Well, he buys
Yeah.
imported beer," and like, look what she subscribes to. And so, being sometimes when you're a financial advisor, it's sometimes like you're like a therapist, a couples therapist at the same time, because a lot of it is behavioral. It's just, if you want to meet
Money
your goals,
is
you have
so
to.
emotional.
Exactly. It's
People.
so emotional. And so, yeah, I've had not as comedic, but yeah, similar situations to that. Really well written.
Oh, that's good.
Like when he said, how about that $3 coffee you're drinking right there? That's not something I would do. Like that's very shaming. But like,
Right,
you want to have them come up with the ideas.
But you are thinking it.
Yes, absolutely. You're like, wow.
I could bet you Beau said something like, and we're talking about Starbucks visits. Starbucks. Oh, you just noticed. Oh,
What a
how much
coincidence.
is that? I'm not saying that's exactly what Beau would, but Beau would be smart. Beau would be very smart about it. He'd be like, Starbucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
Some people spend more than they should. That
There
is
you go.
True to life.
Most
love that.
people. Most people.
Me included, like guilty as charged. I am
Even
not
you,
a good.
Beau?
Oh, I'm a terrible saver. Daniela's the saver in the family.
Really?
And
Wait, really?
Oh, wow.
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I'm like full retail Wirick is like my nickname for myself. It's,
Oh my gosh.
Whereas Daniela will
That
like,
sounds almost super funny.
she almost super funny will be on my
never go
gravestone.
full retail.
Beau Wirick, he was almost super funny.
No, but Daniela has actually like dumpster dived for furniture in her life. Like she will save money at every turn. And I'm like, let's go to this restaurant again for lunch after having that restaurant for
awesome.
breakfast. Yeah.
Well, that's an experience,
Yeah,
restaurants are experiences. We've talked about this.
Yeah. You have to spend, to quote Cam on Modern Family, you have to spend to save.
There you go.
One of my favorite lines.
There you go.
I have an Eric Stonestreet story if we have time for that, Brock, but you can cut it out.
What? Let's hear it.
So I used to live in Toluca Lake, and there was a bar called Timmy Nolan's, kind of like a dive bar, an Irish dive bar. We would
Okay.
go there all the time. It was walking distance from my apartment. And we were there watching some football game, and Eric Stonestreet would be there all the time. Like he and his
Really?
wife or he and his girlfriend would be there, and they would like same table every single time I would see him there. We're watching this game. I've had a few, and he's like, "Who's winning?" He nods to me and asks, and I like got flushed. I was so starstruck.
Oh, because he's a Chiefs fan too, isn't he?
Yeah, very much
And they
is.
kick everybody's asses annoyingly. Sorry.
And so, well, I answered whatever, Oregon State or whoever was playing. And then I turned to him and I'm like, Eric, you rock, man. It was the dumbest thing it was the dumbest fangirl thing I could possibly say. And he looks at me with like this squint in his
Coming from
eye.
you.
Yeah, but he was like, thank you. And then just turned his head away.
Because he didn't know. He didn't know. Just like the Atlantic article said.
Yes.
He didn't know you're from the show that is also on the same
That's right.
night.
Yeah.
And
That's
is
right.
actually talking to the people that really they are also going for too. That's what was annoying about being on that show when Modern Family was still on the same network. So
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, so he went home that night and he's been telling the same story ever since.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still telling it to this day on podcasts,
Yeah,
I'm
Sean
sure.
Donahue from the middle loves me.
He should have. He should have.
Back at home, with the house still lit by candles and lanterns, the kids are confused as to why they're eating a homemade meal at the dinner table. It's an effort to break it to the kids that they're cutting cable to save money.
You know what's crazy about this scene, or interesting about this scene, and we've all been a part of those scenes that take forever. If you're like at a dinner scene or just something with 1,000 people and all those different setups that they have to get right. What I noticed, which was sneaky because it made it feel nice and it worked nice narratively, it's, the kids breaking something or the parents breaking something to the kids, is that those around the dinner table scenes would take forever to shoot. But what they did is they made it a 2-shot where they have only one shot of Frankie and Mike and then another shot of the kids where they're not all circled around the table because then that takes forever to move those lighting setups. So thought that was a very creative way when they were directing or figuring out what shots to get from either it was the director or the DP saying, let's put all the kids and smush them together. It's worth them to have them be smushed together. Practical because it saves time and money and all that thing. And especially like we talk about.
But also it lends it. Sorry.
No. Please go.
I was thinking it lends itself artistically as well. The parents, the kids.
Knowing kind of how the magic of things are made, you can kind of see what's sneaky and what they can kind of get away with by saving time. And, this was an Atticus-heavy episode because he had, after the TV storyline, he had the next big, storyline. And so he's working a ton this week. And it's probably done to save, time also for him because he can only work a limited amount of time for, being under 18 and stuff. So that's business for you.
So we're at Orson Elementary and Brick's peers from social skills are getting picked off one by one by the dangers of recess. Their fears are taken to a whole new level when they're told that dodgeball is being introduced next week.
Mr. Seyfried, we're not cut out for the playground. Zach's an indoor cat, and Quarry really needs to keep his socks white or he'll freak out.
Come on, recess is good for you. Next week, we're introducing dodgeball.
I love how high the stakes are.
I know.
In this scene. It's just, it is a matter of life and death for these kids. And all of them did really well with it too. Like all of the guest stars, like everybody joined Atticus really well on it, I thought.
Yeah. The guy who plays Zach, Andrew Fishman, I think his name is, he this is I think his second episode or maybe it's his third episode, but he's all of these kids have their own little quirks, and he's labeled as the cat kid, which Jana Hunter, one of the writers, her daughter is the inspiration of the cat kid. But even how he's positioned laying down under the slide as like a feline.
Yes. Like ready to escape.
Yes.
That's really funny.
The thing that also like little behind the scenes things so during that scene you see Atticus sitting on his backpack on the ground, but like sneaky things that every department was so good to us. Especially props was wonderful. And when it comes to that, I know that his backpack is filled with like an apple box or a set of books to give him like a little bit of a ledge, a little bit of a lip. Because I think, and as I was watching that, I was like, everyone talks about, oh, the show's great, it feels like a family, and it genuinely is, because I think the thing is like, having someone who's within props stuff a backpack so that, you're 6 inches above the ground, that's standard no matter what TV show you go on to. But the thing that like actually made it an enjoyable thing is that Skip and everyone who worked on props, Christina and whoever, they were genuinely happy to do it. And the actors were also very grateful when those steps would be taken. A little deep for a backpack, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that.
Yeah, me too, Brock. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Right out of your mouth. I knew you were thinking exactly that.
Yeah.
All right. So with no cable, the kids thrive. Sue practices her modeling moves. Brick reads even more. And Axel creates a band, with Sean and Darren. Meanwhile, Frankie and Mike struggle to do anything, but they catch a break when they get an invite from Aunt Edie and Aunt Ginny to play bingo with them at church. Okay, tell me everything. The garage scene, I need to know.
Yeah, here's my question, John. Like, when you got this episode, I remember filming this episode, but obviously we were there for like an hour or something. Right. Like, we do one scene, did a wardrobe change, did another scene, and you have no lines. Like, when you got this episode, what did you think? You're like, what, am I just supposed to sit there at the drum set? You were still funny. I don't know how you did it, but you were still funny sitting there. Mm-hmm. That's what was so amazing about you.
When you're the youngest of four and you're not supposed to be heard, you got to do some things to be interesting or worth talking to. And when it comes to something to where it's actually important for you to do something, even though you're not talking, I think that being the youngest of four really helps.
I thought you did that really well, like legitimately. And I always had a big insecurity doing scenes when I wasn't talking. Like, what am I supposed to do? What do I do with my hands? What am I supposed to do to stay engaged?
I understand that.
And I thought you did such a good job of you were trying to track the conversation between me and Axel. Like, you're funny. Like, you're funny just looking at us. And so, mad props for that.
Thank you. I appreciate
Very
it.
much so. It's also those short little scenes that, like, I think it's easy and from like financially sound from like a storytelling perspective if they were like, you know what, let's save the, I don't know, however many thousands of dollars it would be to like not bring in Beau and John for this episode, and let's just like have Axel, just play guitar and try, do a band.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate about the show is that we've all had episodes and storylines where we get to shine, and we're doing more than just being the people next to the series regular. But what I do appreciate are these tiny little scenes where it makes us feel a part of the world even more. Because, like, if you just have these tentpole episodes that we might have, where our bigger scenes once every, I don't know, maybe a couple times a season. But when we're in these tinier little portions in between those big tentpole episodes that we have, it's nice, one, obviously from a work perspective from us, but then from a storytelling perspective, it makes us feel a part of the Orson community, which I like, because I think it's easy just to, and it saves money. It saves however many thousands of dollars just to have Axel do, play guitar and try and sing alone. However, bringing you two in, even for just an hour and a half of shooting, if that, does, I think, a lot more, and is very, very worth the thousands of dollars that they're spending to bring you in, for that morning.
So at bingo, when Frankie's getting the 411 on The Bachelor from Aunt Edie, she gets bingo and wins $1,000. Favorite line from this scene: "That's a real $1,000. It's not like church bucks."
Yeah, right.
Now that's the building. They use this building. Do you guys remember that building? All the time. Yes, they use it in every other episode. It's everything. It's an office. It's I'm pretty sure where you guys did your jersey toss out. It's where we had lunch, where we had table reads.
Anytime you and Sue were doing like a dance number.
Yes, we would rehearse in there too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And
man, that was the rehearsal HQ.
Oh, for sure.
If I remember, yeah.
Yeah. What I like about this is I remember, and I can't remember if who was saying, if it was Eileen or Deanne, but they were saying something, this is years ago, about talking about how they always like to make things realistic, and especially when it came to money, because money's such a pillar of like something that defines the Heck family and the tone of the show. And so they were going to have Sue try and like make some scrapbook or something. This was years ago that they were telling me this. But they couldn't justify it because they're like, well, where's Sue getting the money? She's not babysitting. She's not doing this. They're like, we can't justify it in any kind of way of like, where does Sue have just like an extra $50 laying around to go to Michael's or Joanne Fabrics? So what I like about this is that like, them getting $1,000, it's not the lottery, but it's a realistic amount of money, and that comes about in a way that we're not taken out of the world that they've built, that they've worked very hard to build. Because I think it's so easy. We've seen it like Roseanne did it. Friends did it to an extent. They end up winning the lottery, but like they win the lottery and their lives are going to change. That doesn't happen to the Hecks. It doesn't happen in our world. So what do they do with that same kind of kernel of an idea? But they do it with bingo, which I thought was a very smart, easy, and I think $1,000 feels like a lot of money, but also not an unrealistic amount of money. And not getting like
when this aired in 2010, $1,000 was a lot of money for a lot of people. I mean, this was like...
That was a lot of money for me.
Depths. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of money for me. It was like the depths of the recession. Stock market had crashed 50%. People were losing their homes. I mean, it was a tough time. So if someone hands you $1,000, it's like, I don't care who you are. 2010, that's a good time.
Yeah.
And even now, I think like the statistics are something like 40% of Americans can't cover $1,000 emergency or something like that. I don't know. I'm pulling that out of my hat, but I mean, it's still a lot of money.
I don't think that's far off.
Yeah.
No. And that building, just so everyone knows, I was thinking about this because I don't think Eden and I have said this. That building that we're in. So if you go through the doors where where Reverend Hayward is standing, you go right out those doors. That's where all of our trailers are, right? And that's where you see Patty's gigantic trailer all to herself. And then you would have,
she's the one that got the show greenlit. So
she sure is.
Good.
And then me,
So
John, and
good.
Beau splitting one.
Yeah, might as well have been bunk beds, you know.
But then
all
you
right.
look if you're looking at the Reverend to the left, that would be the soundstage where they shot that ABC Family show with Molly Ringwald, Secret Life of the American Teenager. And then to the immediate right of that was the Heck House, and to the right of that was the soundstage where the school was. So everything was super, super, super close together. But that's just kind of, that building is its own standalone building. It's not a soundstage, but it's right next to where we filmed everything.
That just reminded me, Brock. So there were a couple shows like throughout the years that were, you know, filming on the ranch, but the middle was the primary one, right?
Yeah.
John and I once, John, do you remember this? We once went to lunch. Like we thought we were going into the middle's lunch, like Crafty, but we ended up like wandering into some other show's Crafty, and we got food. It might have been that. I don't know what show it was.
I mean, their soundstage was literally right next to ours.
So we sit down, and some like PA comes up to him, be like, "Are you guys supposed to be here?" And we're like, "Yeah, I think we're." He's like, "Do you recognize anybody else in this room?"
Not the patronizing question.
It was such a patronizing question.
Man, crazy patronizing, right? Yeah.
But did you?
No,
You did not.
No, we didn't, and we had no idea what we were doing. And so he like said, you know, we're like a first season show. You're costing us a lot of money by eating our food.
Yeah, the whole $10 worth of food that we gulped down.
Do you remember that, John?
I remember something like that. I remember The Secret Life of the American Teenager right there. But then I also remember the movie with Jeremy Piven. Was it the Entourage movie or something like that that was filmed on the same?
Oh, that's ringing a bell.
Because I remember that like it was yesterday.
They also shot.
I don't know.
Animal Kingdom? That was a show, right? And Nick Jonas was on it.
It probably was.
That was filming right next to us.
Yeah, it was, at least it wasn't next to us, but it was on the ranch at some point. But like him asking, like, "Are you supposed to be here?"
Yeah,
makes it feel like you were tourists wandering. There's no tours on the Warner Brothers Ranch; it's just on the main lot. So, awesome, John. Take us into the next beat.
When they get home, Frankie and Mike know the responsible thing to do with the money is to pay off the credit card. So they try to get the kids to suggest the thing that they actually want to spend the money on, cable. But the kids are useless. The next morning, they agree that they know what to do, given their situation, so to speak. So, yeah.
I haven't noticed it for a while, but through these episodes, at least it's happened. This might be the third time so far in this season, but one of the runners, the patterns that they build, whenever they call a family meeting, Eden always goes, "Oh my God, who's dying?"
Yes, a family decision.
Kids, get in here. We need to talk to you. Oh no, Mom's dying. Sit down.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, that was a great one. That's a good one.
They're so good at establishing these things that are just like that have been mainstays for the series, and I'm surprised I didn't catch it when it first happened, but this time I was like, oh my God, they keep continuing to do it. She's always worried Dad's dying, and then if Dad's not dying, then Mom's dying, and whatnot.
So funny.
All right, so back at school, Brick has organized a brilliant and elaborate plan to get back into the library for recess. When he and Quarry charge towards the building, Quarry falls and loses a shoe, but Brick lends him a shoulder to keep his sock white, and they hobble to the building. Again, Atticus living his dream.
The best. This
Of course.
was the best.
Yeah.
Semper Fi, my friend. Semper Fi.
You saved my life. And my sock. Semper Fi, my brother. Semper Fi.
And the best part of this is him like ripping off the Skittles grenade and throwing it in
my
there.
God.
Oh God, it was so funny. I don't know.
Creative writing. It's creative how it was shot. It's nice. It's funny, and those kinds of things. I think that's when the writers have started to like pick up on things that the actors know and can do really well. Like we went and saw this. We rewatched this episode where Brick is supposed to give this like historian speech, and he does a Scottish accent, and that's something that he like infamously did, off screen, and when the cameras weren't rolling. So they like put it in, and so I think this is the writers putting in like, well, he knows these like historical references and how this operates, and we can like really tap into that, and that probably gave them an inspiration for this storyline of how they wanted to do it, which I think is great.
And I would have definitely imagined that that's how they have done some of the best TV that you and I and all of us have ever seen before, is that the writers are watching and listening and talking to and taking notes on all of their actors, what they're good at, what they're comfortable with, and how that can actually fit into the storylines that will fit also the show.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Because there's been times too where like they write something and then it happens to work with something that I do funny, like with a vocal pattern that I might do, where I can a certain kind of like the rhythm in which I speak, and then they do it, and then it works well, and then I notice that how they write my lines going forward lends itself for me to speak in that vocal pattern that garners a laugh. So it's those like literal situations, but it's even those minutia things where they can pick up on how you speak or how you're able to like play with a word or a vocal pattern,
just
or what
the way
you're able
you
to do with
speak.
your voice. Totally.
They will write lines to the way you speak, especially because it's comedy, so sound is important.
Yeah.
And cadence.
Like cracking my voice. And there'd be moments where they would like italicize something, and I was like, that's them telling me, okay, do your voice crack, because it's funny. And they know that I can do it. And they know that I have a way of getting a laugh out of it.
And to that, it's been about, I think, three minutes since I've complimented John Gammon. So I think that happened for you, John, right? Like you were cast as what we would call in comedy, the innocent character, not the dumb character, but the innocent character. And you were cast as the innocent.
Oh,
not dumb.
See what I did there, Brock?
I do.
Wait, what? If I were dumb, I would have said, hey, what? What, bro? Is it okay if I smoke a cigar? I hope.
Go for it.
We just made this an R-rated podcast.
Yeah.
So you were cast as the innocent character, but then you turned into a love interest. And I think, honestly, I think this is true, that you showed so much heart and, like an attractive character that someone that Sue would actually, get involved with and fall for. So it's like, I think that transition was pretty emblematic of what you're talking about. Like the writers saw the heart behind you in the character of Darren and were like, hey, we can make this happen.
Totally.
That evening, when Mike comes home, he finds Frankie watching TV. They get into a huge argument because of their misunderstanding. He sent in a check that's now going to bounce to pay off the credit card. But as soon as their fight hits a high point, Axel sees on the TV that the quarry is set to reopen.
Boom. Good. So their lives don't really change.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have money to afford cable, and so their lives don't really change, so they can still have family meals in front of the TV. I also liked. This was the first time I think we've seen, as they're like dancing and doing their thing, it's slow motion. That feels like a little bit of a departure for the show, and also the theatrics that we were talking about with Atticus, with how it was shot, with the shaky camera movements and and how they were doing all those that kind of, where they kind of took us out of genre a little bit in a comedic way, I should say. But what I like about it is now that we're in episode 20. We have a little bit of established pattern, rhythm, tone of the show, that now they're able to kind of do these little departures that make an effect, because audiences now know what to expect. So when they do a slow motion family dancing in the living room for that heartwarming moment, it hits a little differently, right? And it resonates with the audience in a nice way, because it's a little bit of a departure, but still feels a part of the show. Same thing with, the brick storyline of how they utilize the camera movements and the theatrics and all that kind of stuff. It feels like a departure of the show, but still a part of the show that it keeps audiences engaged, whether it's for comedic purposes or emotional purposes and, and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, Brock, that was my analysis. I had it all written down.
Just stole it completely. I don't know how you got access to his documents and
I
stuff.
know, it's crazy.
He typed it out and everything.
Well, John, thank you so much. Before we let you go, as you take your final puffs of your cigar, we're gonna do a little bit of some trivia. So we love trivia on the show. So we're going to ask you a few middle questions. We call it the blue bag grab because the blue bag on the middle was infamous, a running joke, as we talked about earlier today. So there's 5 questions.
I'm having trouble remembering, the blue bag reference.
So there was the blue bag was like their snack bag whenever they'd go on vacation or on road trips, and they would always leave it or forget it. But it was always infamously filled with goodies and snacks and all the things. So we're pulling trivia questions out of the blue bag for you. 5 questions. This means nothing, but if you get all 5 right, you get to come back on the podcast. How exciting. All right, so you, John Gammon, a.k.a. Darren, had an infamous kiss with Sue over a trash can. You even wrote a song about it. Where and when was the trash can kiss?
At her junior prom over the trash can in the gym. That's normally used for basketball, yeah.
That's good. It was the Valentine's Day dance at the school gym.
Okay, I was way off.
I think that's
on the day.
A correct
a dance
answer.
at a gym. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Okay, I just figured it was the prom. That's not the same as Valentine's Day.
But you did go to prom with her at one point, right?
Yeah, so I mixed it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also have a hug over a trash can, but that's outside of her house when things get awkward, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
All right, so 1 for 1. Good.
1 for 1. John Gammon, it's been a while since I gave you a compliment. Great job on the first question.
I know. Thank you, Beau. I appreciate it. You're the best.
Thank you.
All right, it's been no time since I gave you... My bad. He's good with money. That's why he does his thing. I've asked him about money the whole time.
I got the same question from Brock and Eden's, and I got this one right, so no pressure too, but it has to do with us as a team. So, how much do you love me is kind of the undertone of this question.
The most.
In the episode 324, The Wedding, Bosco was founded. What was our first job?
We had to plow snow from the either auto shop or the car, like the used car lot.
That was a job that Bosco had to do. It was not, unfortunately, the first job.
Oh, yes. Darn. Guess I'm not getting invited back. Oh, well.
Brock's pretty strict.
Yeah.
I think I got 2 questions right, and here I am. So
here you are.
It was a stump.
Right.
We show up at the guy's house, and we're like, we're Bosco.
It was a stump. My God, that was a great scene.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was such a production. Do you remember that, Beau?
Yeah, they lit it on fire. I mean, it was insane.
The stump they did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Because it was
didn't they have to drag it out of a car and stuff like that?
Well, we had axes too. Yeah, the 3 of us had axes that we were trying to hit or something like that. We had to not injure each other at one point in that scene.
Dude, I might be totally tripping, but there was a scene that we were at least a part of, and to the extent that we were on the outside of the safety guidelines that the stunt people were telling us and everything. We were watching a stump get picked up by an old school BS, a Charger or something, like a Dodge Charger, like an old Dodge Charger or something like that Axel, I think, was supposed to be driving. And I think that's what you're talking about. It was a fantastic production. It was so fun to watch, even in person, too. And just watching it was, spectacular. And I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about, but I could totally be wrong. Like I said, I might be, totally off.
Do you remember?
I have no idea. I'm watching the show.
Yeah, I thought that was the one,
for the
dude.
First time.
Yeah.
Brock and Eden have inspired me to watch the show again, and so I don't think we've actually gotten to that episode, episode 324. So
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Axel had to be in this weird, old muscle car that he wanted to drive, and he got it, and he's hooked up to
remove
the damn
the stump, right?
Yeah, and it's a big. It's a mess, and so he has to really rev it. And I remember that day on set and just being like, wow, this is awesome. like Beau and I are like watching on the sideline. This is great. Like I was so into it anyway.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
It's good. Well, okay, John, for that, your third question, that same episode at the wedding, I went and I looked. You, me, and Beau and Chris Kattan were sitting at a table during the reception of said wedding, because apparently we were invited to this wedding for God knows what reason. But we were all there.
Hey, I'm cool with it. I got to hang out and find out about the rivalry between Norm Macdonald and Chris Kattan.
Whose wedding? So your question is, whose wedding were we at?
Rusty and the cousin or aunt that he was marrying.
Yeah, Mary Birdsong.
Okay.
Exactly. Norm Macdonald.
Okay.
Good. I, for the life of me, can't... Did we just accept that we were invited to the wedding? I think we all helped with, like, wedding prep, so we...
I didn't ask any questions. I just knew that both of them were going to be there, and I was raised on SNL. And if I'm not going to be on SNL, I can at least see these two guys after it. That's great. That's
I was
fine
in
with
the
me.
front row of that wedding in the audience. I have no
Good
idea
for you.
why, but I was in the
Good for
front
you.
row. It was crazy.
I remember sitting at the table and Chris Kattan, it would be like, ready, and action. And like he would still be talking, like by the time
Yes.
I think it was Lee directing it, would say action. And at one point Patty turned around and was like, shh, to Chris Kattan.
It wasn't Lee. It was the guy from he was an English guy.
Elliot?
He bald. Do you remember that guy? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Phil. It was Phil.
Oh, God, so
yes,
funny.
it was. I do remember that now, actually. Phil, he was nice.
Yeah,
all main man. Yeah.
Okay. So here's your next question, John. After you and Sue broke up, you got a new girlfriend who was a hairdresser. What was her name?
Thought I could stump you with this one.
A lot of stumping.
Cindy?
No, that's Brick's
Cindy's
girlfriend. Angel. Angel's her name.
Angel.
Remember Angel?
Okay. Yeah, I remember Angel. Yeah.
She was just a rebound. I get it.
Nah, she wasn't.
All right, John.
She
last
wasn't just
question.
a rebound. Yeah.
How many episodes total were you in of ABC's hit show for 9 seasons, The Middle? How many episodes?
I'm gonna sound like a jerk if I overestimate. I think.
No.
But I'm thinking it's 25.
No, even more than that.
25. 32. 36.
3 more.
38.
39.
39.
Yeah.
I knew
You're
it.
in a ton. Well, good. So I, because we weren't 5 out of 5, I'll have to reevaluate if we're going to be,
Right.
if we'll even air this. It might be too embarrassing. I'm not sure. But John, my God, thank you so much for doing this. It's such a blast to see you again, and I love to see.
It was my pleasure. I love to see both of you guys. I really did appreciate this. Thank you.
I knew it was going to be a good interview with John. I was not expecting him to whip out a cigar and a huge lighter and just goes, do you mind if I do this real quick? I did not expect that. Wasn't on my bingo card for this episode.
No. John Gammon will constantly surprise you as to the degree that he marches to the beat of his own drummer.
Yes.
And we were like 80% through, and he's like, it's cigar time.
Yes.
I need something interesting. These guys...
Oh, so good to see him.
Yeah.
All right. So for this week's listener question, this comes from Kelly R. And it's a good one for Beau to be here for. So she goes, hi, loving the podcast. I had a comment and a question about season 7, episode 18, A Very Donahue Vacation. First, I love the scene with Mike and Sue where she was telling him about working at Dollywood. When he told her, I'm going to say no, and Sue replies with the confidence, but I wasn't really asking your permission. I was just letting you know. I felt so proud of Sue being an adult and showing her dad she's not a little kid anymore. Such a great scene. My question is about the pool at the resort. Was there a pool on the lot, or did you have to go to a hotel with a pool for that scene? I was always curious about that. Thank you, Kelly R. from New Jersey. Beau, you famously were in that episode. You were Donahue, and you were on a very Donahue vacation.
Yeah. I was not in any scenes with the pool, and so I don't know. I don't know firsthand what the answer to that question is. I think, did Jen talk about this episode where she pushes?
Yes,
Frankie
I actually do know the answer.
Oh, you do? Okay, there you go.
Wait, so then when you were filming, there's like stuff at a restaurant, a bar.
Yeah.
Right? Was that on the sound
I think
stage?
that
Was that
all,
on the lot?
I think that was all on the lot. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
remember leaving the lot. I filmed 3 days for this episode. I don't remember leaving the lot for it. But the stuff that was actually in the hotel, like outside of the dining room, that might have been off set. I don't know.
I know that, and I think I even remember the hotel. It's on Sepulveda in Sherman Oaks, near the Target. But I know that because I remember Jen telling me that she's very excited for this day because she gets to shove Patricia Heaton in a pool.
Yeah, right.
But that her quote unquote dressing room, her trailer, they got a room at the actual hotel. So I think I don't know how much. That's why I didn't know how much of the actual hotel stuff was from the actual hotel or how much was on the lot. But I do know that they did film at an actual hotel, which is where that pool was. And so I know that they rented rooms, and that was like Patty's dressing room was one, and obviously Jen's was another, and stuff like that. So that's kind of how they utilized the hotel to the best advantage. But yeah, they've shot an actual pool.
We did have a pool on the lot, but it was an outdoor pool. So like whenever you see Axel as a lifeguard, the community pool, that was on the Warner Brothers Ranch. This one, I was watching that episode. I was like, I don't know what that pool is. Yeah,
because it's like inside too, the pool from the Donahue vacation, and that pool that you're talking about, if I remember, it's on the street with the Heck House, but at the other end of the street, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, they would always put like foliage between if you're looking out of the Heck House towards where the pool is, all you're seeing on the other side is a bunch of trees and bushes, I think, if I'm remembering it correctly. But right across from that is the outdoor pool, and you would go film it from different angles and it would look like it's in a completely different place.
Totally.
So that's one of Jen's best moments.
Oh, she loved it. She was scared.
Yeah,
but she loved it. Secretly, because she would sometimes say like, I had to push Patricia in a pool, and I said, Jen, get real, girl. I know you loved it. Yes. Well, Kelly R. from New Jersey, thank you for your question. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I know I'm speaking for Eden and obviously myself, and I'm sure Beau will agree. We appreciate your viewership and your listenership, and we love that you love ABC's The Middle.
And thank you, Brock and Eden, for doing this every single week. It's so fun to listen to it. It's really an honor to guest here and, taking us through memory lane. It's just an absolute treat. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you both. Thank you again for, filling in the tiny shoes. But as you said, for real, big shoes of Eden.
Yeah.
Thank you for co-hosting, and please come back very, very soon. You promise you will?
Anytime, Brock. Anytime.
Okay,
yeah.
As always, extended and ad-free episodes on Patreon. So that's patreon.com/middlingpod. Next week, it's New Year's Day, but we still have a new episode. So we'll see you on New Year's Day. Have a wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate. I hope you're enjoying time off from work and with your family. And again, Beau, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brock.